Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you're new here, or welcome back. Welcome to this video, which is going to be a first impressions of the Blush Tribe Laila 2 palette. So this stunning palette here, just look at the artwork. I love the artwork on her palette, it's absolutely beautiful. And the ingredients are on the back. It says it has a shelf life of 36 months, so pretty decent. I keep my shadows forever, but I just thought I'd mention. And it's cruelty free, and then inside you've got all of the shades. There's no mirror in this one, you've got the picture that you've got on the front inside, whereas in the Pastel Tribe recently there was a mirror. So there's, sometimes we get one, sometimes we don't. It doesn't matter to me, I don't really use the mirrors in palettes anyway because I have a mirror on a stand, but just thought I'd mention it for you guys in case it's important to you. But they're the beautiful shades, and I wanted it because to get a palette of just all different tones of greens and yellows together just looked dreamy to me. So I pre-ordered this when the pre-order went live in June and received it probably about 10 days ago I think now. So in this one you've got 12 shades, so you've got 9 mattes and 3 shimmers. Also when you ordered the palette you got this as well, which is one of their pigments in the little pigment pots, like a gold kind of glitter pigment. So I'm not going to be using that today because I'm going to work today, and I always worry a little bit about glitter getting onto my contact lenses and in my eyes. So probably will wear it at some point, but maybe for a party or something. I'm not going to be wearing it all day. But today I'm just going to be playing with the shadows and the shades that speak to me. Particularly like this sort of apple-y green there, which is called Maria, and like the look of that one Bayer, so I'm probably going to pull those two in, maybe the yellow. I haven't really decided, I'm just going to dip into them and see what look I create really. Probably will bring in one of the shimmers, probably try and keep things fairly light, so probably Malia, that one. So that's kind of the plan, just to get a feel for the shades that I'm going to use and for the formula. But I think, judging by the ones I've used before, the formula is pretty consistent across all of the Blush Tribe palettes. So if you like the ones that I brought up previously, I think you're probably going to like this one. That's my feelings anyway, but we'll find out, and I'll get started and get some shades on my eyes. Because green shadows always stain my brushes. I'm looking for all my brushes that are already stained green so that I can not stain anymore, or use black ones at least. So I'm going to go in, I think, with Bayer. I'll probably butcher in these names, I'm never sure how to say them, but that green there. And I've got a super big fluffy brush, this one's by Real Techniques. And I'm just going to completely give myself a wash of that colour all across my crease. Just to start off my look. And I'm deliberately using quite a big fluffy brush because I want a sheer application. I'm going to sort of go lightest to darkest with this one, which I don't do that often. So I've used the MAC Painterly Paint Pot as a base, and I've not set it, but I'm almost using this shade to set the crease area. And it looks really sheer because this brush, as I say, that's what it does, it shears things out, but that's what I want. So I'm almost taking it to my brow bone, so pretty much the whole of my crease area from inner to outer and out to my brow bone. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Zara. It's got an interesting tone to that one, so I want to try that one. For that shade I've got a pointed fluffy brush, which is the small tapered blending by Sigma, the E45. I like this one to get into the crease. So I'm going to build that up in my crease, not going completely to the centre, so from about 2/3 of the way in and back, and my outer V as well. That's a pretty shade, I like the tones of that's gorgeous. And it's layering very nicely on top of the first shade that we laid down. Which is always a test of a formula to see if it will layer and play with other colours. I am building it up bit by bit and then smoking it out, so I'm not going in with too much, and I'm not getting any fallout at all, and that is one thing that I really do love about Blush Tribe formula, because it's not too kick-uppy, which would lead you to think it wouldn't be too pigmented, because normally shades that kick up seem to have more pigment. Well, that's my experience. But these don't have much kick up, and yet you still can get a really, really nice pigmented look out of them. That's why I love them so much. And the value as well, they're very, very good value for money. So this palette for me, obviously I'm in the UK, cost me around about £25 I think in total. I did get it on a weekend when there was a discount code, and the shipping's normally about £4 odd for me, so it ended up being about 23, 24, something like that. I'm really liking that Zara shade, so that shade's going on my lower lash as well. I'm just going to use a smudge brush and just stamp it along the lower lash line. And just where that outer corner meets, I just want to just blend that slightly, just with the brush that I've been using in my crease. Hasn't got much product left on it now. Sort of going almost for a rounded shape today. Okay, I'm going to do my lids next, so I'm going in with the NYX Glitter Primer. I don't want it too precise, like a kind of faux cut crease or anything. Just going to basically just dab that in the centre, because that's where I want the shimmer to be. Just going to use that same brush, which is a no-name brush. Oh, it's Profusion. Bought it from Profusion, a drugstore brand. I'm going in with that shimmer, Malia. That is a really, really pretty green. Got a reflex of kind of a goldy tone to it. It's really, really nice. What I've got though is a little bit of the dreaded hard pan, which is not my favourite thing. I can cure it with sellotape over it to pull the hard pan off, but I really don't like hard pan. But I think I did go in with the other side of the brush. I don't know if I still had a bit of glitter glue on the brush, so it may have been my fault, but we'll see, because I'll use this again for more looks and I'll keep you informed. It is a stunning shimmer though, so that it doesn't become too cut creasy. I'm going to go back in with the Zara shade and just blend a bit more of that in the crease. Just to help blend that shimmer shade in with the mattes. Then I'm going to take the Maria shade, so the appley green at the top, as a brow bone highlight. Very, very soft colour. I think that one would be nice packed over a white base actually. And I think what I would like to do is use some of these shades in conjunction with the Pastel Tribe, because I think that could look really beautiful. Some of these lighter ones. It is showing up, but it's like I could get more impact if I'd used white base. And then for this part of my inner corner, I want to go in with the yellow. The yellow is called Asaya. That's showing up quite a mustardy kind of yellow now it's on my skin. In the pan it looks a lot brighter than it does on the eyes. Again, I think over a white base that would look more true to yellow. It's pretty though. I think what I am going to do is drag it up so it sort of wraps my inner corner bottom of my lash there, up to where my crease shades start. I've got a tiny little bit of lid space left, so we'll cram one more shade in. So we'll go with Serish, so this one here. This time I've sprayed it because I don't like to get glitter glue that close to my inner corner. I'm just applying that with a pencil brush to give me some control there in the inner corner. But it's meshing very nicely with the shade that we've got in the centre of the lids, and it is slightly paler in tone, which you wouldn't think looking in the pan. So if you look in the pan there, that was the initial shade in the middle of my lids, and that's the one I'm applying now, and yet this one looks paler on. But I think it might be because I'm not packing it over a glitter glue. Yeah, I'm just using that one dry, and that one's developing some hard pan now. I mean, I've sprayed my brush, but I've used a dry brush actually on the pan, and that's developing some hard pan as well. But that's the look right now, and I'm really impressed so far with the mattes. I think the mattes are beautiful. I love the tones of that Malia shade, the one in the centre of my lids, but not loving the hard pan, not gonna lie. But I think I can cure that, but I just wanted to let you guys know because it's one of my pet peeves, so maybe it will be for you guys as well. But as I say, I love the tones that are in the palette, and I've not used every shade obviously, but so far I'm loving the look it's giving me. I'm just going to hop off camera and do a pencil in my waterline, a bit of a liner but not a wing liner, so just a trace over my upper lashes, some mascara, and choose a lip for the look. And I'll be right back with you to wrap up the video, show you the final look and give you some thoughts on the shades that I have used. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. I really like how it turned out. I'm really happy with it, and the combination of tones that are in that palette are just yellow and green lover's dream, and as you guys know if you've been here before, they are my kind of colours, so I really like how it turned out. To intensify the look a little bit and to give me a bit more drama, I have put on a 24/7 liner in my waterline, which is the Mars shade. It's one of my favourites by them. I've put it in my waterline, below it a little bit, and I just used a smudge brush just to smudge it into the shadows that were already there. And I've also lined my upper lids with it. Not created a wing, just a rounded shape, and then mascara just to finish the look. And then my lipstick is this one, which is Dose of Colours Truffle. Just thought it was neutral enough to let the eyes do all the talking, because there's quite a lot going on there and I wanted those to be the star of the show. So my thoughts on the palette then, I kind of said as I was going along, and obviously this is only a first impressions, but two of the shades I've used, whilst they were beautiful, developed some hard pan, particularly Malia, which could possibly have been my error because I think my brush still had some glitter glue on it. So I'm going to clean that off, see how it goes in the next time that I use it. But that shade, Cherish, I dipped my brush in first and then sprayed it. So there was no moisture on my brush when I used it, and that has started to develop a sheen there as well. So just to let you know, and obviously I've not used the other shimmer yet that's in the palette, and there's 3 shimmers in the palette. Of the mattes that I've used, I tried to use as many as possible without using all of them because I didn't want it to get too grungy in this look. I wanted to keep it sort of a bit more green. So the shades I've used, Maria, which I used on my brow bone, nice shade, probably would have shown up a lot better on a white base, but worked well to highlight my brow, which is what I've used it for here. The yellow shade looks sort of a bit more smoky and grungy. I think you'd get more pigmentation again, as I say, over a white base, but it's definitely there, you know, it's showing up. Didn't have any issues with it. I love the shade Zara, the one that's in my crease. Absolutely adore that one. And I started off the look with Fire with that one, and I used a very fluffy brush to shear that out, and it blended beautifully, and I was able to layer the Zara shade over Bayer without any skipping issues or anything like that. So the mattes are fabulous. As I say, the shimmers have performed okay. I mean, I can't deny that shade in the centre of my lids. It is absolutely gorgeous, but I have got the hard pan issue in the palette. So that's my thoughts on the shades that I've used so far and my first impressions on it. I think if you love greens and yellows and you love the colour story, I don't think you'll be disappointed in the performance of it. I've certainly been able to get a really nice look out of it. I do intend to do more looks with it, but I think a lot of the looks that you'll get from it, that's the other thing that I would say, are going to obviously be green. They're going to all be very similar to one another. I could get something a lot more sort of army green and grungy out of these and maybe using that shimmer, but I can't see a lot of scope for lots of different looks out of this palette. It is going to be pretty much the kind of look that I've got here. I could alter the style, you know, wing it out more and, you know, that kind of thing, but I think the shade combinations are going to look quite similar on the eyes. Probably the way I will use it is to dip into to be able to grab for the perfect yellow or the perfect green shade that I'm looking for, or also to use it with some of the shades that are in this palette, the Pastel Tribe. So there's a beautiful shimmer green there, and then I'll be able to use some of the mattes from that, or use some of the shimmery blues that are in here with the greens, so to give me a bit more scope. So I think the two will go really well together. I know the Pastel Tribe was limited editions, I know not everyone will have that. Also, I've not played with the pigment yet, so that will add a different dimension as well and give me a gold glittery lid. So, you know, that came free with the palette when you bought it. So, and I think everybody got that as part of the deal when you ordered that. You got the 12 shades in the palette plus that pigment. So I thought it was a really good deal. I'm not disappointed that I've got it. As I say, I'm pretty much a collector of Blush Tribe palettes, so I was going to have it either way. But I wanted to give you the most honest review that I can, which is what I always try to do. Clearly it's not a review, it's a first impressions. I've used it once, but I kind of know from when I use a formula whether I'm happy with it, whether I'm going to like it or not. And as I say, the formula for the mattes is what I'm used to seeing from Blush Tribe. I've never developed a hard pan issue though with any of the other shimmers, so whether it's just me today and what I'm doing or not, I don't know. So I do need to get rid of the hard pan, play with them more, see what I think, and I'll perhaps pin a comment in a couple of days time when I've played with it some more, just to let you know whether I was able to cure that and whether it became an issue ongoing. But that's my initial thoughts on the palette. Hope you enjoyed seeing me create an eye look with it. If you did enjoy the video, then please give it a like, and if this is your first time to my channel, I'd love it if you would consider subscribing. I do a lot of reviews on new products. I tend to review everything new from Blush Tribe, but lots of other indie brands as well. Indie is kind of what I enjoy the most. So if that sounds good to you, then I'd love to have you along. But other than that, guys, I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.